Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel and welcome to today's reading. In this video, I will be doing a collective energy check in and update for my beautiful collective. I gotta admit, it's been a while. Like Britney Spears, I'm sorry I kept you waiting. That's a little break the ice reference right there. But anyway, we're going to jump right into the reading. And again, this will be an energy update and check in for the collective. I do intend this to be kind of like a miniature reading, so it might be shorter than the normal collective readings. And again, I do apologize that it's been quite a while since we've done some readings. I know some of you have reached out personally and have wondered when is the next collective reading. So without further ado, here we go. And of course, we're starting out with the What's the Vibe deck. We are going to ascertain what the current energy is for the collective and what it is you need to know, what it is you need to hear. Okay, so right off the bat, we have, wow, this card I have not seen in any reading I've ever done with these cards. But this is the Exhausted card. And I definitely feel this really heavily for the collective that I'm channeling. It says burned out, burdened, and it says empty. And I really am feeling the energy and the vibe of this particular card. I'm really fixated on the image of the man in the card. He is laying on a bed. You can visually see that he's very exhausted, that he's very burnt out, that he's very tired of what feels like he's tired of life, tired of the mundane, tired of the everyday, existence that we go through. He looks like he's really aggravated and really, just kind of like put out with life right now. And it's really interesting that he's sitting next to like these two briefcases, and one of them does look empty. So that really could be signifying, travel or, like going places. But what it really feels like, it feels like this is a continuation of the last reading where we talked a lot about integration. And so I'm really feeling heavily here that we are all still going through our own soul's integration into some sort of breakthrough or glow up or some sort of catalyst for some sort of major change. And it's looking different for each of us in our lives. It really is right now. I know some people in the collective have experienced, really drastic major changes, and those changes could be, promotions or changes with work. This could be, moving, this could be maybe the loss of something. And, when you do lose something, you do, gain something in its place. And there's just other threads of energy I'm picking up on, like new relationships, new opportunities, new dynamics, or new cycles that are being presented to themselves. And if they're not being presented right now in the present moment, this is something that is coming very swiftly, is what it feels like, almost as if like it's a rush or something that really feels like, it's going to be like having you head sprung in a sense, is what it feels like. But there's also threads of energy floating about here where it may seem like this integration is very, very like stagnant, or it feels as if like it's not coming quick enough, like the breakthrough or the positive aspect of the integration. So, you could be feeling really grim right now, or really bleak, or just like really in this energy of like, when is all this going to be over? Because I'm living this like nightmare right now type of feeling. Now, I gotta say, as I am recording, I really can feel like something happening with my throat chakra, and it really feels like it's closing. But I feel like I'm channeling someone's energy because I have not had voice problems for a while now. So it's really kind of interesting how it really feels like it's closing, or it feels like I'm having difficulty speaking. And I might sound a little different in this particular reading video. So I do apologize if it's harder for me to understand, but it really feels like there is a throat chakra activation happening for someone here. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I know it's early in the reading, but I really feel like we should touch base a little bit on what a spiritual integration is, what it may involve. And so it's a journey of self discovery and exploration, and it really leads to a greater sense of meaning and purpose in your particular life, or I should say, your life experience. And so a lot of things can really happen in a spiritual integration. There usually is a lot of time where you do a lot of self reflection, and there's a lot of awareness to a lot of different feelings or experiences or external factors that are usually happening in your life. And this is also a time when you do this reflection to cultivate a lot of positive habits that can help you with this integration, and a lot of those habits would include mindfulness practices, gratitude, practicing compassion for the self and for others, engaging in acts of service. These things can really, teach you a lot about yourself and really bring you closer to your soul's purpose on your soul's journey. But the major thing about a spiritual integration is that you usually or typically connect with something that's larger than yourself. And so that's really like the core aspect of a spiritual integration, is where you recognize that you are part of something larger than yourself, whether it's a higher power, the universe, or whatever, divine forces you connect with, that really leads you to a sense of awe or wonder about the way that things are connected in the universe in a larger, perspective. But, you usually don't really get to that point until like the last little bit of your soul's integration. So, again, a lot of this is really going to look so different for everybody. And I think everyone right now is facing a lot of tests or trials right now. And it's going to be really specific to your soul's integration. So, there could be a lot of things that could be brought up at the moment right now, a lot of karmic cycles, kind of resurfacing, or old thought patterns or beliefs that really didn't serve you in the past. And these things might be brought up as a test. So it's up to you on how you want to move forward with that test, whether you want to backtrack, which essentially does not allow you to elevate, or if you want to practice gratitude and honor and respect whatever that karmic cycle was, and know that, you learned the lesson from that and you're willing to accept it for what it was and honor it for what it was for your soul's growth and journey, and then allow yourself to move forward to whatever is happening in your life that is going to bring a lot of profound growth and spiritual awareness. So I know some of this might seem a little quantum, or it might seem a little like, if you follow Infinity on her magnetized channel, like a little 5D, or, it might seem like something that's going over your head. But just take a moment to really, breathe and really just, take in the messages here, and only take what really connects for you. So if this part of the reading does connect for you, just know that you are in the right path, and you are the conscious creator of your life. So you do get to choose how things play out for you. But just remember, what will be, will be. What's meant for you is meant for you, and it's not going to pass you by, whatever it may be in your life. Okay, so the next card, it's really funny that this card came out because earlier we talked about a glow up. and the glow up card came out. So it says new opportunities, new career, successful business. So I feel that some of you in the collective are experiencing a glow up when it does come to finances or the career. Things have changed in your work environment for the better. And it may not have looked like this right away or even in the present moment, but it will the further you continue this soul progression. But if it's not connecting there for career, it could be connecting in other aspects of your life, whether it's meeting someone new or a new soul connection coming in, helping you with this integration, or just new experiences that you haven't really felt before or have been blocked off before from some sort of core wound. I'm really feeling something like, from childhood. So some of you may be resurfacing certain childhood memories or core wounds that could be centered around a divine masculine energy, a divine feminine energy, your parents, something of that particular nature. But I feel like that's only for a select group in the collective. But I am feeling a major glow up, a major breakthrough that will happen for a majority of the collective the further you integrate into this soul progression that you're going through right now. Now, for some of you, you will be facing a lot of challenges and obstacles because we have the blocked card. It says, moved on, nothing to say, stop calling. So, this could be with some sort of relationship dynamic where if you already are connected to someone spiritually that really is instrumental in your soul's growth at this particular moment in time, maybe something had cut off within that particular connection that really, happened abruptly and really kind of just like took you aback, and made you kind of like question, like, what was all this worth? But just know that this was part of the soul's evolution for you at this particular moment. This is what you needed to go through, if that is connecting for you in terms of a relationship. But I'm really feeling like this card is really saying that there's a lot of blockages in your life, in other areas of your life when it comes to this soul integration. So a lot of these blockages could look like delays or just things that, are occurring that is preventing a lot of expansion in your life right now. But I really feel like a lot of this is really just manifested, fears from a lot of core energetic wounds or karmic patterns, things that are not really serving you right now. So again, this is where you would need to do a lot of self-reflection and mindfulness practices to stay grounded and to stay focused on your aligned path. Okay, so switching to another oracle deck, we have the Take Charge card. It says you're taking a backseat in a relationship or situation, and it may end up costing you time, money, or opportunity. You need to step up and regain control once again. So, this is definitely a direct message if this is connecting for you in terms of a relationship. So, this is definitely for you to really, take note and step up and take charge of your life and be more responsible for your actions within a relationship dynamic, because you might be shifting the blame on the other person, but really you can only control yourself and your actions and how you handle the situation for you, because you are the conscious creator of your life. Now, I feel like this is really also talking about like a higher purpose, so this might connect in another way for others in the collective. This could really be talking about you taking charge in your soul's expansion right now when it comes to this integration, where you really need to step up and you really need to do what's necessary in order to obtain a sense of purpose with your highest self. Not sure why it came out like that, but I'm really feeling like a lot of you are seeking some sort of divine purpose when it comes to the self. So it really feels like this is really a poignant time right now for everyone to really look within themselves and really reflect on their soul's growth and expansion to see where they have come, from a lot of the trials and obstacles that they faced in the past, and know that they're not that version of themselves from the past, that they are continuing to evolve into the person that they've always meant to be. And really, it feels like this is the time to really trust the journey that you're on right now. Because I really feel like a lot of you are not really trusting what's really happening right now, if that makes sense. Okay, so switching to the tarot, we have and all of these cards came out at once. And I feel like this is definitely a divine reason for it in this particular reading. And so we have the Ten of Swords reversed, the Ten of Cups reversed, the Fool reversed, and then we also have the Four of Swords. Now, I'm feeling really heavily here with this Ten of Swords reversed. It's really telling me right now that a majority of the collective is really combating and resisting this inevitable change of some sort of ending, because you really don't want to face what is truly happening right now. It's like your soul really knows what's truly happening at the present moment, but it's like the 3D ego version of yourself is like resisting this particular change. And so the more that you're resisting this change, the more it's really going to continue to drag on until it's, time for you to really rip off the band-aid, so to speak, or to really face this core wound of some sort of karmic cycle or core wound that you've been carrying for quite some time right now. And again, it really feels like, someone in the collective is really, carrying around this burden of some sort of old situation. It's really plaguing the mind right now, is what it feels like. It really feels like in the present that you may, you know, it's almost like a trauma like feeling where it's like, it's played out, it's already played its role, you already endured the trauma physically, but it's like you're still carrying that core wound from it. So, in order to really get past this, this is time for definitely reevaluating your circumstances, letting go of whatever that aspect of pain or suffering that you experienced from your life that really is no longer serving you, and that you're really dwelling on at the present moment. This is time for releasing that type of energy. It's really time for you to really honor what happened and really, learn to truly let it go and release it and transmute the energy. And, it's like the further we get into this reading, it really feels like it's getting super harder to speak. And I really feel like the reason why that is because it's like this is the truth that you don't want to hear. So it's almost as if like you're manifesting, in a sense, a truth that you don't want to hear. Because it's like, again, your soul knows what's happening on a deeper quantum 5D level. But it's like, your 3D self really doesn't want to recognize what's going on. You want to really avoid it because you want to avoid some sort of inevitable pain. But this is really the time for you to actually go through this particular type of pain and transformation, because it's really only going to elevate you and take you higher to your, highest self, if that makes sense. I really feel like the 10 of Cups came out here because, and I feel like my voice kind of came back temporarily. I really feel like it's out here because I really feel like this is really speaking on this emotional wound surrounding the family, surrounding loved ones, especially people that are like immediate family. So there could be a lot of trouble with the family, or there could be this heavy loss or this heavy burden or something surrounding family at this present time. That's the strongest set of energy that I'm really feeling here. And it's like this disconnect. that I'm really feeling as well. So you could be really disconnected from a family member or someone that's like family, a loved one that, you held in high regard. And you could be feeling really emotional. You could be feeling really raw, really turbulent at the moment, is what it really feels like. And so, with this Fool card as well, this really kind of goes back to not trusting the process, not surrendering, not allowing this pain, that you need to work through and really allow it to, just work through it to attain a higher sense of purpose or self or whatever the breakthrough will be with this soul integration, this spiritual integration. And so you're not taking the leap of faith. You're not trusting in your higher power, your highest sense of self. You're just not trusting the process right now. And so it's really looking like there's a lot of delays, a lot of stagnancy, a lot of disbelief in something, is what it really feels like. And finally, with the Four of Swords, this is definitely speaking to that exhaustion. And it's really not just a physical exhaustion, it's also a soul exhaustion, like a spiritual exhaustion. So I think the further, and when I say I think, it really is how I feel, the further you're progressing, the further you're elevating, the more that you go through this integration, it's really draining you at a core soul level right now. And so this is definitely a time where you really would need to do a lot of self-reflection, a lot of mindfulness practices to stay grounded, but to also call back your power. So you might need to do certain meditation rituals if you're into that sort of thing, or really cleanse your space right now. I'm getting something like about like spring cleaning in a sense, but your spiritual hygiene is really essential right now. As Infinity would say, that's a term that she uses. So it's really important to really protect yourself spiritually and really protect your energy as well, and give yourself a lot of much needed rest at the present moment right now. So we're going to conclude the reading right here. I feel like we might have more readings in the future. I do plan on trying not to continue with these little hiatuses, but I know everyone's life is really, really chaotic right now, including my own. But I will try my best to uphold this uploading schedule every Wednesday for the collective, and whatever mini readings come through as a download in between the regular Wednesday readings. But I do want to thank you for those of you that have joined this particular reading, this miniature reading. This is a little bit shorter than the ones that we normally do. And thank you for extending your beautiful energy. I do wish everyone a wonderful, happy remainder of their day. And I am sending lots of love, light, and happiness. And I am really hoping and really praying for you that the universe really connects you and helps you integrate more of what needs to happen during this precious time, because this really is a precious metamorphic time for everyone in the collective. So please trust the process. Please, just allow things to unfold naturally. And always remember, you are the conscious creator of your life. I love you, and I will see you in the next episode.